Hi there. Welcome to our week 5 update. We got a lot going on this week. We are going to thin the rest of the tomatoes as well as the rest of the seedlings. We are going to do some management of the winter garden. Get rid of some of the smaller dying plants to make way for the tomatoes as we up pot. We might up pot a few tomatoes. We're going to check out our new pine needle mulching machine and see if that can mulch pine needles. And we're going to fill the birdies beds with either soil or wood, maybe do a little Hugelkultur kind of thing, and start prepping those beds for planting, even though we still have 3 weeks until our average last frost date. So we've got a lot of prep to do this week, and we've got a lot to do with the seedlings to get them ready to go outside. Let's get to it. So our thinking over here is we're going to start thinning stuff that really didn't produce over the winter. That has been lovely. Maybe it can stay, but that is gone. Let's see, we got rid of that plant. We've gotten some rid of the other ones. So what I'm hoping to do is get this so that about half of this table is room for a bunch of my solo cup size tomato starts as I start up potting tomatoes, because I have too many to fit on the shelf. So I'm going to start doing kind of a rotation here, and we're going to start getting rid of some of this stuff. Might cut back that pepper plant it never produced. Same with that pepper plant. Put them back down with the overwintered pepper plants, and that would free up a lot of room too. All right, well, we got all these watered, got it cleaned out. This Johnny's Asian, man, this stuff has been great. It has worked over winter really, really well. Sweet basil, less so. I got a couple of them to work, but they just, it just seems sad. And I admittedly was really bad with fertilizer and everything. I'm gonna do a lot different next year. We've talked about this, but I have a big space here for tomatoes, so I can get some of my tomato up plants here. Once the time is for that, I'm gonna eat this basil over the course of the week. It's done. So I'll have a little bit more room there. And yeah, we're good over here for today. So how are things going with the seedlings? Well, good and bad. This broccoli did not make it. I think it dried out. Yeah. You know, I've been testing. Oh, this is catastrophic. I was testing a lot of my water, but it looks like this entire bed. Oh, we're gonna have to redo this entire bed. This is all dry. I've been finger testing everything all week. Over here, there's moist. These are moist. These are all moist, but apparently this one dried out. God, yeah. Look at this. All dry. So we're gonna replant that. That's a failure. Well, it's a bummer. It's all our broccolis. We will redo that. But the good news, look at my tomatoes from last week. All nicely seeded up, or up thinned and replanted. I got some having a little problem back there, but all in all, pretty good. So we're gonna do this tray today. Do all those. We're gonna thin this stuff. We're gonna thin that stuff. We're gonna thin those back there. We got our new seedlings from last week. There's my wife. Hi, wife. And they're looking great. So we're gonna unhumidity dome these, and off we go. All right, well, we had some dried out loofahs, and we had some dried out broccolis. These lettuces actually look like they might survive. So what I've done here is I planted more of each one of them next to them. I got to get the label maker out and label those, but those might survive. I'm going to rearrange things in trays once I label them. Put the seedlings in with the other seedlings under humidity dome that didn't sprout this week. It might work out great if I have lettuce that's 3 weeks apart, because you're supposed to cycle your lettuce planting so you can keep eating lettuce all summer. So we'll see if that works. Broccoli's a drag because now we're going to be entering summer and it's going to be too hot, but we're going to try again anyway. The watermelons, we got 6, 7 watermelons here out of the 12 that looked pretty good. So what I decided to do there is just up-pot them, and I'm gonna put them over in where the winter garden was, where I just cleared out, and let them start getting some sun there and hope they work. Yeah, so we're gonna have lunch and then we're gonna deal with the rest. Back in a bit. This really hurts. That's all the dead plants and the dried out potting soil. I'm just gonna throw it in compost. It will get reused, but still pretty painful. I have a lot of problems with watering, I'm not gonna lie. I was checking these all week. Putting my finger in there and they were moist, and then just this today, boom, some of them dried out. It's not good, but we are persevering. That's the whole point of this, is we learn as we go, right? That's why I did overkill and planted 600 plants when I only need about 50, so we will see. All right, back in so we've rearranged these. These are the old lettuces that I think might survive. They're still, they're wilted, but they're good. That one's actually perking up a lot. And then these are the new ones I've replanted along with the 4 from last week that haven't sprouted yet. So I can put a humidity dome on this because you're supposed to take them off once half the seeds are sprouted. All of these are sprouted. So we'll use the one humidity dome on this one. What I really want in life is a small CNC type printer for wood that you can feed popsicle sticks into, and it will write with etching and or burning or both onto the popsicle stick. So you can label them with just sort of like a brand without having to use the plastic tape. That is my dream label solution for gardens. I wish I knew how to make such a thing. Anyway, these are our first up-potted plants for the year. These are our watermelons, and it's very exciting. We got them all done, and now we're gonna go do some thinning and pinching and whatnot. I probably shouldn't have done that watering these on top, but the soil is really dry and it's stressing me out, so I just want to get a little moisture in there before I did the thinning. Just looked it up, and you are supposed to thin the bok choy, so I'm going to do a little bit of thinning on that now. Well, this one looks like a failure. I got some mold, algae, moss, whatever you want to call it, on some of these. That was from when I kept them under the humidity domes too long, and then this tray sucked up the water a lot faster. This cauliflower looks really dried out. These feel like they could be salvaged. I'm adding some fertilizer and some water, and these feel like they could be salvaged. I don't know, I think these onions are probably a lost cause. And I suspect this cauliflower is a lost cause. But we planted more cauliflower last week. These are doing okay, so we're gonna not thin these peppers. I don't know, they could go either way. We're gonna just water this tray down, and we're gonna see how it looks in the morning, and maybe we'll thin it tomorrow. God, man. Lots of learning, lots of learning. Pretty pleased with the cucumbers. Great thing about thinning is I could get rid of most of the bad ones. So now I've got 1 per tray, and I'm gonna let these go a week, and then I think we'll start up potting. Cucumbers I've grown with much success around here. I'm feeling good about this. They're going outside the minute they can. But yeah, these look good. So now we just have the tomatoes left. All right, the tomatoes are thinned. I did not try and plant another 72 tomatoes out of this. I think I got enough tomatoes with 220 tomatoes or whatever. So I'm gonna give these tonight to perk up. That fennel's in bad shape. Another one that we left the humidity dome on too long, but we planted new fennel last week, you'll recall, so hopefully that's in good shape. But yeah, these look good. I will let them drink up some fish fertilizer water and grow tall tonight. And hopefully by tomorrow, they're looking as perky as all these tomatoes. And I think now I'm gonna up pot some of these tomatoes just to sort of see what happens this week. I'm gonna up pot like 10 or 15. So that's what we're gonna do next. Okay, so this is a technique I learned from Next Level Gardening. I was gonna just plant my tomatoes, plant them into sort of mid-size, 3-inch pots, but he said he had a great plant system. I was a little dubious with the solo cups, don't like them, but basically we plant it in here and we only put the dirt up halfway, we let it grow, and then once it's way above the top of the pot, like up here, then you fill the rest of the pot with dirt, and that gives way more root structure. So we're gonna try it. I'm gonna do as many of these as I can fit over there today. And yeah, it seems like a good system. So Next Level Gardening, that guy knows what he's doing as opposed to me, so check him out. Putting some of the tomato starts over here in the winter garden. I cleaned out that area earlier. They need a better timer because this timer's all messed up. So we will get that going over the next day or two, but that is half. I did, 6 of each type of tomato. So 3 over here and 3 over here. I am out of room. There's some more up here. Everything is watered. This is our seeds for the day. Don't know what I'm gonna do when all these tomatoes are ready for up potting. Maybe some of these can start hardening off outside. I don't know. We're cutting it close. We will see. But things are looking good. Feeling good. All right, let's do compost. All right, well, looks like we failed. There's our thermometer, and it is not in the green zone. So maybe too much carbon now, not enough nitrogen. I don't know, man. This is a nightmare. But I'm gonna keep going. Just gonna add everything this week. Give it a good mix, hope for the best. Winter broccoli's put out some more. Look at that. I thought these things were done, but that looks great. Very exciting. And here's our new pine needle mulch. We made from our pine needles and shredded it. You can watch that video, separate video. But our next task is to take all of this and some wood from the garden and start filling up these birdies' beds. This is just a bunch of old dirt, extra organic matter I've had lying around. That looking like it's gonna break up there. The bottom half of the bed can really be any organic matter that you have lying around. I'm probably gonna use that wood from the yard. Gonna talk to Emma about that tonight. And I got a lot of extra dirt, so I'm just gonna start getting rid of this stuff and leveling it out and mixing it up. Yeah, probably to about there on the bed, and we'll put the good stuff on up. Okay. Okay, well, I have 3 bins of soil and I put 2 in here and I think we're not even halfway. So this one is gonna get all the soil. This is a great experiment. All the soil from the bins, I'll add a little fertilizer in it and probably some perlite or something. We'll do some normal soil composing in this one. And this one, we're gonna have to go full on Hugelkultur. I'm gonna have to chop up those trees in the forest. I do have some soil from last year also put over there that I piled next to the compost bins before I got the bins over here. So I'll use that as well, and wood, and I'll try and get these things half full, but it is just about dinner time, so that is it for today, and we'll pick it up tomorrow. It's gonna be fun to pull the winter garlic soon. I'm so excited. Okay, it's the next day. Things are looking pretty good. Thinned out tomatoes, except for these ones over here. Those did not make it, that sucks. Maybe I'll replant those. New up potted tomatoes, made it through the night. Look like they're all going okay. Everything else, all thinned out. That stuff perked back up as hoped. That's really nice. All this looking good, looking good. So, down here, cucumbers, everything looking good. So we're gonna continue with filling the birdies beds with a bunch of wood and organic matter. Let's do it. All right, this is the first batch of stuff she says we could take. So we're gonna chop these up, put them in the wheelbarrow here. And then there's another batch after this. Here's the steps we saw yesterday from the bottom. And you can see the moss is starting to come in. This is about 1 year of moss. So a couple more years, we're gonna have some really nice mossy steps. So let's get to work on these. All right, well, Emma wants me to take that branch down. It's a little high, but I think I can do it. This is probably ill-advised. Don't try this at home, even though I'm trying it at home. Well, that tree's done, but he used up all my batteries, so I can't even cut it up to put it in my planter. But I got my task done for my wife, so I guess that counts for something, right? Cool. I got a crappy chainsaw. It's electric. I don't like gas tools. My house is solar. Everything's electric, powered by the sun. I don't want to get a gas chainsaw. They have better ones out there. I'll probably get a better gas chain, or better high-powered Husqvarna battery chainsaw someday. I'm just using my wife's a little electric, but I got her branch down. I got most of it trimmed off. I'm out of batteries, so won't get to that part. But I got another trunk full, so let's go get these birdies beds filled up. Okay, hopefully this is the last load. Let's load this up. Truth be told, I could probably use one more load. And I'm gonna have to use some of my dirt to fill in, but we're making good progress. I'll do one more load. I'm feeling up for it. Hugelkultur, yeah! It's the battle of the beds. The Hugelkultur bed versus the just old dirt bed. Which will win? Tune in 4 months. In the meantime, I got some dirt over there. Ooh, I gotta get in the wheelbarrow. And I'm gonna fill them up a little bit more. Man, these beds are basically using all my dirt from last year. Filling the bottoms of them. And a lot of wood in the forest. But yeah, let's get that, and then I think we're done for the week. Okay, we're gonna mix in some perlite and some earthworm castings to this dead soil. My thinking is that one, the Hugelkultur bed, it's got plenty of organic matter in there, so this one needs a little to compensate. So I'm gonna mix this stuff in. Okay, all mixed in. 2 beds are done. That is us done for the week. I'm gonna clean up and get some dinner. I will see you guys next week. Yay!